Alright, this deserves a video. Earlier this year, I wrote a blog post about how to implement Quicksort in 6502. And in that blog post, it worked, but I was only using it with a very limited sort of sample set of about 22 randomly generated sentences. As it happens, that code had a giant bug in it due to signed versus unsigned numbers. So there's a certain point where a mid-index of 0 gets decremented, and then it gets compared to see if it's greater than the low index. And when you're using signed numbers, that mid-index becomes -1, and then it fails the check for it to be bigger than the low index. But on the 6502 it rolls over to FF and it appears to be bigger, and then it goes into a giant recursive loop of infinite death and eats up all the stack space and crashes. Anyway, so I fixed that bug and I've now applied it to the code that I'm working on for directory sorting. So here is a regular directory, and as you can see, the files are totally unsorted, which is pretty normal. So if I run this routine that I've got stored up at 8,000, you'll see how long it takes to generate the directory and sort it. There you go. Pretty fast, right? So now let's go back to, say, our root directory. Okay, so there's a bunch of files also unsorted. And now here it is sorted. Isn't that amazingly fast? I'll go into my actual OS folder here. This is kind of partially sorted. I sorted it once upon a time. Now it's kind of unsorted. So I'll run that again, and boom. Isn't that great? Okay, so here's another speed test. I think partition 4 is Godot. So I've paused the listing here. So Godot contains a ton of files, and they're pretty much unsorted. So check out how long this takes. Okay, so I'll stop that. Now check how fast it can load it in and sort it. So I'll tell you while it's loading. Loading, 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 loading. Done loading. Look how quickly it's sorted. Isn't that amazing? Basically, from the time that it finished loading to when it was done sorting, it basically sorts in less than a second. Alright, thanks for watching.